It's Thursday, February 29th. This is what's coming up on the mayor's office.
If I was a hitting coach, I would tell what I told the Yankees when we faced Gosman. Hey, you're going to look bad today. Just chalk it up. But we can't have fear attacking the heater because you're going to look like a fourth grader when he throws you that split finger. He's going to screw you in the ground. It's nasty.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
Ooh, coming in hot, Chinchy. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? I got my legit t-shirt on. It's, my sister-in-law gave me this because ever since you and I started the show, I think both of us say legit every couple minutes.
Oh, is that why? Is that why she did it?
That's why she got it for you. Anyway.
I love it. Dude, I've always said legit. Like people be like, oh, when people mock me sometimes, I'm like, that's legit. I'm like, all right.
So I she said to me, everything's legit. Everything's legit with you. I'm like, oh. Yeah.
You're like, why not? It's a great phrase.
It is a great phrase. Anyway.
Yeah, so good, dude. So good, dude. I tell you what, I know I'm coming in with a little bit of a heavy heart today. Coming in to this show of, Stacy Wakefield passed away yesterday. Obviously, Wake's a great friend of mine, great friend of the shows. Was on a few, about a year ago, probably less than a year ago, and it's incredible, Chinch, how life goes sometimes. Because when I was with the Yankees, obviously. Wake's a good buddy of mine, so somebody had grabbed me and said, hey, Wake wants to see you in the dugout. So I went down to the dugout, and Wake was down there, and I knew Stacy was sick. I mean, his wife had been sick for a while now and with stage 4 cancer, and so I knew it wasn't good there. So I went down to meet with Wake and, just tell him how sorry I was about Stacy, and we were in the dugout, and he was like, and I just looked at him like, Wake, I'm so sorry to hear about Stacy. Like I'm torn up about it, and I'm praying for you guys. And I'd already texted him and talked to him and been a while. And he didn't say anything to me, Chinch. He kind of looked at me, and you could see he started to well up a little bit, and he barely could even say it, but he was like, hey, it's me now, Case. And I was like, what do you mean it's you? He's like, well, they found a brain tumor, and he's like, I'm going in tomorrow for surgery. So I hugged him, he cried, I cried. It just was so uneasy, man. Like, just love Wake to death. It's a wonderful human being, has done so much for so many, and including myself. Obviously, in the interview that we did with him, how amazing of a person he is. And Stacy's amazing. They have 2 kids, a son and a daughter. And, what was crazy was Wake had the surgery the next day. I must admit, it really rattled me that day. And had surgery the next day. I texted with him, man, I'm praying for you. He's like, all went well. And then a few weeks later, man, Wake passed away. He had that stroke, I believe, and at home, and didn't make it. And I just thought of Stacy and the kids, like, I just can't believe this is all happening. Like, it was really Stacy that was sick, and Wake was supporting her, and the Red Sox were supporting her and everything. Everybody was. And then Wake ends up passing, which is incredible. So,
yeah,
seeing Stacy pass yesterday, I believe that they're together again.
Yes, I agree.
But I must admit it breaks my heart for their kids, and breaks my heart for, dude, a couple years ago, I'm with them at David Ortiz's, golf outing. Everything's fine. Stacy's fine. Yeah. Tim's fine. Yeah. And here we are a couple years later, they're both not with us. So
a year ago,
like I said,
he taught us how to throw a knuckleball on our show like a year ago, Yeah.
And always looking to help other people in the community. Just like I said, man, just a wonderful, wonderful human. And, I'm just, it's just, I'm sad. It makes you sad, man. It makes you sad.
I hear you. It's tough.
So prayers out to everybody especially their kids.
It's very well put, man. I'm so
Yes.
sorry for your friend and
Yeah.
everybody who loved him. And I'll just have one thing, like, not to transition into baseball, but it's just more of a testament to the person. This guy threw a knuckleball, kind of like unconventional. So he didn't probably do the same throwing routines as pitchers during his career, and kind of a different kind of position he played than anybody else. But yet, I always look back at like Wakefield as one of the captains of that Red Sox team, one of the leaders, and one of the most. Everybody looked up to him. Anytime I was around the Red Sox, it's like Wake's in charge. Like Wake, Veritek, those guys. Those guys were the, kind of the people everybody looked up to be people, more so than baseball players. So, a lot of prayers to everybody who's a fan, anybody who were family and friends, and of course you too. Sad stuff, man, and a lot of prayers. And I love your thought about they're together now. So that's got to take that.
You're right, man. He was like just the leader on that team. I played there in 08, I was such a fan of Wake's because of the Pirates in the early 90s, dude. When he came up with 92, like, who's this Tim Wakefield guy, and he almost could pitch every day because the knuckleball wasn't a ton on your shoulder. But, he was really a leader in that clubhouse. He was like Big Poppy and Wake were kind of like the big guys, and was always keeping it light, was super funny. Like I said, man, life happens on life's terms sometimes. I just, that's what I mean. Like, one day at a time, man. Let's just appreciate today and keep the prayers out to, like I said, the Red Sox organization, the Wakefield family, their kids, and that's it.
I'm sorry, buddy. I feel it. Anyway, all right, we move on. There's no transition from this. We'll just kind of subtly.
Right. There's no transition.
No, not at all. Please understand that. We did have Yamamoto pitch yesterday. He looked pretty good, Sean. Did you see it? What's your take?
Great stuff. Interesting. There was a couple takes I had on it. He's got great stuff. I think we saw the split finger a couple times. It was pretty nasty. What was interesting to me, Chinch, not a big leg kick.
I know
when you get pitchers, usually they're getting that leg up and they're driving downhill. He kind of just falls downhill. There's not almost like an infielder would field it, boom, step and throw. He's almost stepping and throwing off the mound. I thought that was interesting. The first thing, I did think he made a lot of mistakes. So what showed me is like, I think he's going to have to make some adjustments, but I also think there's got to be some good ride on that fastball, because he missed out over the plate a few times and it was not squared up.
Right.
I thought that was interesting. And like I said, when he got in a chance to throw that split finger, I mean, it was devastating. So I think that's why that fastball plays so well. When you see a fastball, when you see a guy, let's compare him to Gosman just with the split fastball combination. A guy like Gosman with that split, there's hesitation a little bit as a hitter because it's going to make you look bad. And no one in life wants to look bad. No one wants to look embarrassed. So the human element comes in with guys with the split fingers, because you're like, okay, I want to be on the heater, but the split finger looks like the heater.
Yeah.
And I would tell, if I was a hitting coach, I would tell what I told the Yankees when we faced Gosman. Hey, you're going to look bad today. Just chalk it up. But we can't have fear attacking the heater, because you're going to look like a fourth grader when he throws you that split finger. He's going to screw you in the ground. It's nasty. Yeah. So I think a big thing.
If you're looking for the splitter, you're going to get your bat broken into 3,000.
Well, if you're looking, you can't look for the splitter. That's why the splitter's so nasty. A good one. You can't look for it. When you face a guy with a good split finger, you're just relying on the hanging split. Right. Because it's still a hard pitch. It's still a split finger fastball. It has fastball rotation, everything. It just leaves you. So when I look at a guy like him, his fastball, when it's a mistake out over the plate, it's not getting touched at times because the split finger is so good, and it puts you a little bit 0.1 on the defensive that gets you that ground ball or that pop up. So it'll be interesting to see, how guys are able to attack him, because Gosman's a split fastball combo. This guy's got a curveball, a slider, a split, a cutter. I mean, he's like six pitches.
Yeah.
He's like Ohtani.
Oh,
he's basically Ohtani.
That's true. That's funny. Speaking of Otani, you noticed this. I missed this on a broadcast, but uh Yamamoto's got to learn how many outs there are in a game, I think, right? Is that what happened yesterday?
Oh yeah, dude. I thought that was great. Do you see Yamamoto? Yeah, he got 3 outs in one of the innings, and he turned around to go back to the mound, and then he saw everybody running off the field, and he kind of gave it the whoa, and like walked off. I just thought it was great. Like Otani was in the dugout, and they had a picture, the videos on him, and he's like kind of like motion like 3 outs, dude, 3 outs. And what I thought about was how great is it for those guys to have each other? Because for even a guy that's that's in the big leagues that ends up going to Japan or wherever you go. Because I know for like guys that are Latino that come over when they first come to the States, one of the biggest things is the language barrier. Yeah. So not only you have the baseball's different, the culture's different, so many different things, but then the language barrier could be a lot, right? Yeah. So for Otani and Yamamoto to have each other, as far as to be able to speak Japanese, to be able to be comfortable, to have, they've known each other for years. That's a huge, I didn't really think about that in a huge way until yesterday when I saw that and Yamamoto smiled, Otani was smiling, but he could come in the dugout and speak Japanese to Otani. That's comforting, man.
No, dude, that is great. Dude, it's funny you mentioned that. A couple of days ago, being in New York, I get all the local spring training broadcasts, and Francisco Alvarez of the Mets, he did one of those in-game interviews, they do during spring training where they talk for half an inning, and he did it in English. And I was like, I didn't know Alvarez spoke English yet. Because he's a young kid, man. He's a rising star.
Yeah.
Right at the end, the entire booth was like, Francisco, this is unbelievable. Like, thank you so much. And like, they were honored that he did the interview in English, because when he came last year, he actually admitted this. He was terrified, or when he started playing baseball in America, he was terrified. A year ago, he wouldn't even order his own food at restaurants, or he would have to bring somebody with him because he was afraid he was going to get the order wrong, because he had to learn the language from scratch. And over the course of the past year, he did an interview with like Ron Darling and all those guys in a booth in English, and was so proud, and they were so proud of him. It's really cool because it's got to be so hard. Sean Casey, you're a hitting coach. If the guy can't, there are certain words. First of all, the English language is one of the dumber languages. I'm sorry.
It's like so hard to learn.
The hardest to learn, through, throw, thou, though. Like, everything's like, there's words that are
same meaning. There's same meaning. 3 different meanings for the same word.
How about read and read? And then
right.
R-E-D, and there's R-E-A-D, and they both say the same thing, but then one of the words says read twice and then read. It's the most difficult language. It must
have been the moonshine era when they were putting English together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And these guys come over. I remember Pedro talked about it. He's like, he didn't speak a word of English. He just played video games with his host in Montreal. The host, like 10-year-old kid, and the kid taught him English.
What?
Yes, dude, it's a great story. He's told it before.
Yeah, but, and then Pedro did his Hall of Fame speech in English and Spanish, dude. You got to give these guys credit, dude. I must admit, like, I'm trying to learn Spanish now, so I'm doing that app Duolingo.
Oh, nice.
So I do 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, but it's been kind of fun.
Sure,
it's been kind of fun, like learning it, and but what I'm saying is to give an interview in Spanish, are you nuts? No chance, dude. I'd feel so uncomfortable.
While you're trying to make a living.
Right.
While you're trying to hit Yamamoto's 7 pitches.
Right. You're learning a language.
You're learning a language. It's one of the more impressive things to me, the athletes that come here from other countries. And
yeah, I love it.
So very cool.
So
one last note. This is an interesting one. The biggest news out of yesterday. Shohei Ohtani's just dropped it on all his lover fans that he's married.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
He just posted like, "Hey, sorry I haven't mentioned this earlier, but I'm married." He's keeping it private.
I thought it was just him and his dog. I thought it was just him and his dog hanging out.
I thought so too. I wonder if he saw like the whole Kelsey Swift situation happen in the NFL, and maybe he's like, I don't want my wife. My wife's she might not be a superstar like Taylor Swift, and I'm sure when somebody sees her, they're gonna be like, here's Otani, here's Shohei Otani's wife. She's
Right.
gonna wind up being on the cover of everything that Swift and Kelsey were on. I bet Otani was like, you don't want to be in a public eye, honey. You don't want to do this. So anyway, it was interesting, and it's starting to get a lot of heat. Some very upset young folks out there who thought they might have been the next, might have wound up being Shohei Otani's wife.
Well, it's probably it'd be interesting to see if obviously I'm not like Us Weekly, but I'm just saying it'd be interesting to see if it's nice to meet somebody before you're this big superstar. So you know what I mean? Because
good point.
It helps because you think at least they like you for who you are.
Yeah, it's a real point.
Exactly.
Anyway, I mean that's like a silly way to end, but it's a good way to end. So that's it. Oh, hey, last point tomorrow. Do not miss it whatsoever. Who we got on, Sean?
Yeah, we got Christian Yelich coming on tomorrow, which is gonna be a great episode, guys. Tune in. So much good stuff talking about hitting, but talking about WBC, talking about Jim Leland, talking about that catch Adam Jones made. Just some great stories. So it's going to be a great show. Tune in tomorrow for the mayor's office. Christian Yelich really gave us a gift coming on with us.
Yeah, especially, hey, oh man, hearing Sean and Christian talk hitting, he is just as much of a student of hitting as he is being a good hitter. So you guys are really, really going to want to hear them talking about so many things. Not hitting down on the ball, where your hips are, where everything, timing. It's great stuff, guys. So
his time with Bonds and Mattingly, if you're a baseball fan, don't miss this one.
Yeah, you're gonna learn a lot. All right, man.
Okay. All right, man. Hey, Chinchy, have a great rest of the day, brother. Everyone out there, thanks for listening. We really, really appreciate it. David Dumont, that bat's on its way, bro. I went to UPS yesterday, shipped it out. So you should be seeing that soon. And I hope everybody's doing great and having a great day. And we will see you tomorrow with Christian Yelich. Chinch, love you, bro. Subscribe and download. I have to say it because, I don't know, that's what you're supposed to do. We need it. All right, brother. I'll talk to you, man.